Okay, I have Mr. Belfort on the line. Um, this is a request for records disclosure and regarding Frank Doms and James Lee Schreck. So it was sent here to the Public Records Act. All right. To whom this may concern, notice, custodian of records, successors, agents, witnesses. I'm requesting access to records in possession or control of the Washoe County Sheriff's Department office, Nevada, concerning an unknown exact time frame, but approximately around year 2014-ish, concerning the individual Frank Doms, who previously resided at 555 Paw Springs Road and was or acting officer for Wilcox Ranch Property Owners Association, and the individual James Lee Schreck, a member of the Wilcox Ranch Property Owners Association, residing at 3600 Wilcox Ranch Road. Whereas James Lee Schreck may have battered or assaulted Frank Doms, and a subsequent sheriff's report was taken. This request is for the purpose, disclosure, and copying pursuant to the Nevada Open Records Act, Section 239 et sec, and or the Freedom of Information Act. Request is to obtain a copy, any and all of transcripts, recordings, reports, incidents, occurrences, case numbers, body cam footages, all or in part, as full disclosure or other agencies, location, or time frames concerning these individuals. If there are any fees for searching or copying, receiving these records, please inform me if the cost will exceed $25. However, I would like to request a waiver of all fees in that the disclosure of the requested information is in the public interest and it will contribute significantly to the public and members private of Wilcox Ranch Property Owners Association, licensed under the Secretary of State, Nevada, as there are claims of multiple type frauds, conspiracy to conceal, and to damage private property title rights regarding said association, its members, co-actors, adverse parties, lien claimants, attorneys, et al. If access to the records I am requesting will take longer than a reasonable amount of time, please contact me with the information about when I might expect copies or the ability to inspect requested records. We witnesses believe, having first-hand knowledge that Wilcox Ranch Property Owners Association, former officers, trustees, members, or not adverse were involved in a type of racketeering or home equity type scheme, financial embezzlements, HOA, POA, scams, and fraudulent state filings under notary seal. Time is of the essence. As of now, 3/30/2024, threats are continuing, intimidations, blocking of commerce, occurrences, trespass, harassments, menacing, slanders, title damages, property damage, and denial of emergency service access by several adverse parties / co-actors by their continued acts / occurrences and by their refusal to settle or quiet claims as to property owner title rights. If you deny any or all of this request, please cite each specific exemption you feel justifies the refusal to release the information and notify me of the appeal procedures available to me under the law, as I am the first-hand witness who was intimidated during an ongoing and still active court case at the time of the occurrence report, WC 240390361, while a showing of a firearm and threats to bury me out there regarding case number RSC 2023-000823, Small Claims Court, Washoe County, and RSC 2019-000337, Small Claims Court, Washoe County, and specific, see motion to reopen due to fraud, exhibits 1 through 33, and deposition facts verified under seal witness, and cease and desist notice to Schreck concerning this matter. Thank you for considering my request, and please retain this document contract notice for the ongoing investigation, joiners, and for the officer file jacket duty/witnesses. This second request is one of many concerning these unsettled matters. Okay. And then there's carbon copies of State Farm Insurance and Nevada Real Estate Division. And it's cited here, all the trust numbers. Then there's an attachment on this thing as proof of continued harassments by the co-actor Jeff Reese during this past Easter holiday. Jeff Reese being a member of Wilcox Ranch, a possible connection with James Lee Schreck, as intimidations have been caused on a key first-hand witness who has knowledge of the books and records of Wilcox Ranch Property Owners Association. This attachment is not necessarily part of the request, but is to document on the record and for the understanding to realize James Lee Schreck's intention/connection/operations, and to find out if he did in fact commit some kind of battery or assault on Frank Doms in connection to the roadways that have been managed by Wilcox Ranch Property Owners Association. Okay, and so yeah, this was all served on Carl Allen Schreck. Here's the proof of service by a licensed process server. Okay, this was delivered to him on 10/27/2025. Okay, and then the other one was served on Christopher J. Hicks in his capacity as district attorney. And that's a licensed process server here. Okay, and then here also, here's Pam Bondi, the Attorney General, got a copy of it. And you got the Schreck Family Trust. There's a certificate of mailing that they were served with here to their post office box. And James Lee Schreck at 3600. This was also a certificate of mailing. There's a proof of file stamped by the postmaster. Okay, so I got Mr. Belfort on the line here. And what do you have to say about this thing,
well,
Mr. Doms? Tell me what you know about it.
Okay, I believe this was on a Sunday, approximately 2013. I was coming back from town in the early afternoon, and as I came down Wilcox Ranch Road toward Powraw Springs, I saw James Lee Schreck exiting at a high rate of speed past me on the road. When I arrived at my little apartment that I rented from Francois Frankie Doms, my phone immediately rang, and it was my landlord, Frankie, who informed me that he had been attacked by James Lee Schreck, and I believe he was approximately 71 or 72 years old at the time. He told me that Mr. Schreck knocked him into the ditch and began pummeling him, and he smelled of alcohol. Then someone was calling him at the time, and he said, "Oh, it's my wife calling." He then hung up the phone with me. Approximately 15 to 20 minutes later, the fastest response I've ever seen, Washoe County sheriffs arrived out at his place, and while I wasn't a witness to it, I believe they went to find Mr. Schreck, who had left the area, and no charges were filed, but Frankie told me that he was in fear and felt very intimidated by James Lee Schreck. And that's about all I know. No charges were filed, but they did sell their property. I I'm not sure the timeline, but they did sell their property at a reduced price and left the state. And I believe that it was partially due to that incident, among other things.
I mean, I have an experience with him. There's a sheriff's report here on 2/8/24 where he threatened to bury me and Mr. Belfort, and said we were both psychopaths, and among other unsavory words that he was telling me.
And I also would like to add that this all occurred after an extremely long campaign of nail and rock terrorism, and other injurious materials being placed in the roadway every time I came in, and I must have had 50 flat tires coming in and out of here. It cost me thousands of dollars. I would arrive home and have like 3 nails in one tire, and they'd all be sitting out there like a spectator sport, watching me drive over these nails that they were placing in the road. I mean, it was very obvious, and Frankie told me that it was a common practice of Mr. Shrek to be putting nails and sharp rocks in the road.
Why did he batter on this guy Frankie? What was the reason why?
It's been 12 or 13 years, but I believe it was over injurious materials being placed in the roadway, and he got out of his car and he just said, "Jim, this has to stop," and he attacked him.
Wow,
James Lee Shrek.
All right, stand by. We're gonna finish up this on a follow-up video.